Yeah, this is my fifth attempt trying to make this what if. Oh, without a script. I seriously need a script writer for like almost all my what ifs because I don't like using others or I'll get copyrighted or most likely because I use my own AMV video sound and that gets me copyrighted. That's why mostly I get copyrighted now. I'm just gonna do this. What if Deku had order from the number one hero of America? So, order is a quirk that allows her to set a rule onto her surrounding, allowing her to manipulate and bestow new properties onto herself. And she has to touch it first before doing anything. And then once she touches it or contact with the target, speak its name. Then explain the rules she wishes to impose. So basically, she has to say, like, Momo, something like that. I guess every time I run or walk, whatever, you can't talk. Something like that. Basically, just shut your mouth up. And she can give herself additional abilities as well as manipulate the condition of her opponent abilities. Body. She can even use her powers on incorporeal things like the air or basically objects. Entirely sure if it goes with everything, but there's probably a limit. And immense strength using the order starring replace on her rule also that gives her super strength. So she can basically give her abilities, like I just said right there. And that's how she in the manga spoiler. It's not gonna be really a spoiler. She surgically modified Tomo Shigaraki and sent him flying back. So yeah, and I'll probably do what if Deku had the fruit, whatever, I don't know. Had a lost fruit. Since this is almost basically the same as lost fruit, but just different. So this is all on top of my head. There might be some times where it just stops and goes back onto it. And I'm sorry for rambling that long now. Let's just get started with this great series. We see a boy sitting on the couch, just watching All Might save the little children under a rock. As Inka Midoriya walks in, Izuku says, Mom, can we go to the quirk doctor? Inka just says, Yeah, Izuku, we can. But deep down inside, she knows one thing. Izuku may never have a quirk or even have a strong one because she has a weak quirk and Hisashi never had a quirk because in this UA, Hisashi never revealed his quirk. He's not all for one, basically. He's like I'm gonna change the ranks a little bit. He was basically a hero. His name was Salamander, the top third hero. I'm not gonna make him the second or anything, but then he just left and disappeared, and his rank just got depleted, something like that. Cause he just stopped doing hero works when he had Izuku. Now, let's continue. Time skip to when Izuku go to the quirk doctor with Inko. Izuku is happy the whole ride that he probably is gonna get a quirk. But Inko is just sad. Izuku looks at her mother and sees that she's sad and asks why. Mom, why you sad? You should be happy that I'm going to get a quirk, Izuku says. His mom say, Yeah, honey, in a downcast look. Izuku's still wondering why his mom is sad. But before he could say anything else, they arrive at the quirk doctor. As Izuku and Inka walk in, they see Bakugo's mom and Bakugo right there. Bakugo says hi to Izuku with the brightest smile, cause in this way, Bakugo is really kind and to Deku. He's not that really much of a person, like that bad of a person who cares about whatever. In this UA, Bakugo is better than what he was back then. Like, he may act up a little bit like that at certain times, but he's not that bad though. Y'all gonna know what's gonna happen because I'm not gonna go with the normal UA if you didn't watch my first trailer. That's why I explained all of this. Now let's continue. As Bakugo goes to Izuku and says, "Hi." Izuku says, "Hi, Kachan." And then he said, "Do you have your quirk? What's your quirk?" And he starts berating with Bakugo with questions. Did he even get a quirk? Bakugo said, "Yeah, I got explosions." As he bursts off an explosion out of his hands, but then it just starts hurting for some reason. And I forgot Mitsuki. I almost forgot her name. As Mitsuki slapped Bakugo and says, "Don't use your quirk, brat." And then Bakugo just replies with the "Shut up, old hag." As Mitsuki just keeps on beating Bakugo, while Inko is just chuckling. And Izuku just wants to interfere to see if Bakugo's okay. But as Mitsuki stops, sorry, I'm not very good. I don't remember names that well. As Mitsuki stops and looks at Inko and says, "Hey Inko, wanna go to the place tomorrow? And I'll leave the kids with my husband." I forgot his name. That's why I'm trying to think of his name. Sorry about that. I don't remember his name. Mitsuki's husband's name. And as Inko says, yeah, I think so. That would be great because she thinks about it that something may happen to Izuku, but she just puts that aside. As Inko goes into the quirk doctor, but before that, she quickly says goodbye to Mitsuki and Bakugo. As they went in, the quirk doctor comes out. I want to act like the quirk doctor. "Oh, hello, Miss Midoriya. And little Izuku. You're here to get your quirk checked up, right? Or you're here to get your examinations for your abilities and so whatever. Basically, I'm sorry, I meant your basically health and abilities of your own abilities without a quirk. So yeah. We're here to get our quirk check," as Miss Midoriya says. Okay, follow me." As he takes Izuku to the back and says, "Miss Midoriya, sit right here." And he said, "This is going to hurt a little bit, Izuku, but..." And then he just takes a syringe and pokes at Izuku's arm, basically. And then once he takes it out, Izuku just passes out. Inko goes back in and asks, "Where's Izuku?" in a kind of scared tone that something happened to him because they could see what was happening. Basically, there was a whole entire glass door in a laboratory where they do experiments on you. That's how it kind of looked like, but it was just a normal office, and that's how the activate quirks. And the doctor explained to the mom that how to activate their quirk is that they have to pass out so their quirk can basically mutate with their bodies. Basically, they awaken their quirk for them a little bit, and that quirk has to get used to its owner's new body. It's basically like a symbiote, but it's not a symbiote. It's just a quirk, genetically mutated with you, mixed in. Because a quirk, I think it's mutated. I'm not sure. I don't really care, but let's continue. As Inko is still worried and is a little bit kind of rest assured, and the doctor says Izuku does have a finger toe, and he does have a quirk. It's just we just have to wait and see what it is, because they don't know. Once they wake up, that's when their quirk just shows up. Like if you have a fire quirk, once you wake up, your fire a little bit will start bursting out of your hand or anywhere on your body. So yeah. Sorry I had to pause it because some monkeys was annoying me. I'm playing. Please don't take this as a racial slur or anything. I'm playing. It's just kind of the act like it sometimes. I'm seriously playing. This is a joke. If you can't take jokes, I guess, I don't know. You do you. Now let's continue. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. As Izuku was actually kind of passed out, he had a dream. A dream of him flying everywhere. And whatever he touched could just become many stuff, basically. Minerals, like whatever he touches just became into little stuff like Gildart's power. I'm not giving him no like Gildart's power. This is just a phase that is what is just a phase. It's not gonna be his quirk, just to let y'all know. It's just like a phase on his dream. This is like what he thinks, because your mind reflects on what you think a lot of times before you go to bed. And Izuku was thinking about a quirk so much that he kept on dreaming of quirks. All that he had. He dreamed of a quirk of having All Might's quirk just bashing through every villain as he is older and becomes a #1 hero. With Endeavor's quirk, every single hero's quirk. To then, he just dreamed of a quirk known as Order. Izuku didn't know what this meant because he never knew this quirk thing. He just in this dream he just died normally because he never could access his quirk. Because in his dream he was like he grew up as an old man, basically like if you know Rick and Morty, where they put you in those tube thing and then it makes you relive your whole life. That's what Izuku basically had. You're gonna see what I mean by now. What I'm gonna do. And then he sees as a quirk gets passed down to users and users and users. It's not gonna be a passed down quirk though. So why I'm saying it's gonna get passed down is because once a user dies, the quirk just goes to the next user, to the next person, basically. They don't have to meet the other users. The quirk just goes into them. It doesn't have to be your loved one or anything. It just goes into the other user, and it keeps the memories, basically like the avatar. It just keeps their memories and conscious locked into it. It's basically like goes through users and users, but nobody knows the quirk because not that many people ever had it, so it was never put it in the books. Now we should continue with the outside world. As Inko is getting a little bit kind of irritated and asked, why isn't Zuko waking up? And he said, it might take a little bit more time because it's been 1 hour. And Inko is already getting worried about Izuku's health. Time skip. 3 hours later. Inko is fully blown mind, pissed, and she's about to call the cops, but then Izuku wakes up with his eyes glowing a little bit. It's kind of like the Avatar state, but it's not. As he touches where he slept, basically he was put in a chair after he passed out, and after he touched it, he just said, chair, deconstruct, as the chair just deconstructed. I don't even know, I'm not entirely sure if that would happen, because my head hurts and I can't think very well right now. So yeah, I don't want to say scratch that, this happens, because that kind of be annoying if you do all of that. Kind of just likes to be annoying, so yeah. And then, let's continue. Inko is in shock right there, and the doctor, and they're like, huh? Is his quirk disconstruct or something? Because that's all he could say. He said disconstruct. And they thought his quirk is probably disconstructed, but then the doctor just stopped and says, but why is his eyes glowing? And then in a quick moment, Izuku's eyes just turn back to its normal state. And he just looks back at his mom's with a confused look. Mom, what happened? As he says. His mom takes Izuku as fast as he can and takes him out of the hospital. But before the doctor could say anything. But the doctor was chasing them down because he was not a villain though. He was just a hero. Basically, he was a hero but not a villain basically. He wanted to tell the heroes about Izuku's quirk so that they can protect him, because no one ever had that power, and he had the power of disconstruction. That's what he thought. That means he could be the next number one hero, or if he became a villain, that could be a really bad thing. So as he chased for Inko Midoriya, as she went inside her car with Izuku, she did not even have time to just open the second place. She just went with Izuku into the driver's seat, whatever. If y'all want me to explain that faster, because I know some of y'all just brain capacity ain't gonna believe that. So yeah, as she does that, she just steps on the gas when the doctor just banging on the window, but then she just leaves, and the doctor, he was just in shock. You may be wondering why Inko is acting like this. She's mad, irritated, and was scared. And once she saw Izuku's quirk, she knew immediately what it was. You may be wondering, how did Inko know though? Well, let's just say you have to wait and see how Inko knows. As Inko then drives home immediately and tells Izuku to pack up, we're going to America. Izuku looks at her in shock and asks, why, Mom? Why? I didn't even get to say bye to Kachan or nobody. Inko says, we don't have time for that, Izuku. Get ready. As she started screaming at Izuku for no reason, Izuku started crying. And she said, I'm sorry, Izuku. Let's just pack up and go. As she packed up and left, they went to the car and driven to the... It was about to go and driven airport. But then a car crashed into them. And that was a doctor. What you may be like, what? How did the doctor do all of this? Like, why though? Well, because the doctor was actually a hero, but he needed Izuku at all costs to put him in basically a hero state, and he knew that they probably would leave states because how Izuku's power is, and if the government found out, they would have took him in and tried to make him as their weapon. For the weapon as for Japan, if anything bad happens, like basically so bad that it may cause the whole world to be in destruction. They basically wanted to train Izuku in the most hardest parts, and this is how it would have became if Izuku was trained like that. Like, it would have been more ripped. I don't know how to show y'all a video because I never put it in one, and so yeah. Oops, sorry about that. Now let's continue. As the doctor then goes to try and touch Izuku, his eyes quickly glow white. But before that, Izuku looks sideways to his mother's and see her dead body, and he says, Mom, wake up, Mom," as he keeps on crying. And then the doctor comes in and snatches Izuku and says, it's okay, it's gonna be okay. Izuku didn't know who did, but he could see a person just go swoosh at his car. He did not know who it was. Let's see. But then one hero saw everything, and he just said, I am here. As you may know who it is. And he went and took Izuku from the doctor as fast as he can. But then he placed Izuku down and just punched the doctor. Not with that much of a strength. Not that strong, because that would have killed him. But the doctor had a regenerability quirk and was a master at taijutsu, basically taijutsu. As then the doctor gets back up, and All Might says, what? That should have knocked him out. And then the doctor smirks and says, All Might, why are you doing this? That kid, he's I don't know how to say this, but he was actually in the wrong. Sorry, had to take a long break, so now let's continue. As All Might going for a Texas smash, but then the doctor just sidesteps it Cause if you don't know how to side, never mind. As the doctor sidesteps and goes for a chop at All Might's hand, basically like a chop to like make his hand go down, but not chop it off. All Might just uses his legs and just kicks the air, pushing the person back. And then some other heroes start gathering up because the civilians start calling them. And then the doctor has to retreat, but before he retreats, he was almost about to go and get Deku, but then Aizawa came in the way and just chopped his neck. And the person just fell down. Izuku was just crying this whole time. And then the heroes first went to check on the person in the car crash. And some went to check on Izuku. And they asked what happened. Izuku just said, well, we were going somewhere with mommy, and then this car just went and hit us. And mommy's is still there, sleeping. Izuku thought she was sleeping. I tried waking her up, but it didn't work, Izuku said. The heroes felt kind of sad for him because he doesn't know his mom is dead. Izuku's 5 in this one too. And then the hero, Aizawa, comes up to comfort the kid. And then time skip. After they clean up everything in the street, and then they just leave. Time skip till when they reach the police station. Inko was taken to a hospital to see if she is still alive or not, whatever. While Izuku was taken to the police station to just get checked on and everything. Basically, I don't know, just to go there. Because I was always going there to take the prisoner. And he was the only one who just did deconstruct his quirk thing from working. So that he can't hurt nobody else. And then the police guy, the one who was always with All Might, that knows All Might's secret, says, hey Aizawa, what are you gonna do about the kid? And then the other police says, yeah, why don't we just put him up for adoption in the shelter session? Shelter. I said, no. I guess I will have to take care of this kid. As everyone said, what?